Welcome to another episode of Peeking Inside My Sketchbook. This one was created between September 2013 and January 2014, and it mostly includes urban sketches. It was one of these extra sketchbook that I had going along many other ones. So you're going to see a lot of pictures of people in the subway, and this was my first experiment with watercolor in a watercolor specific sketchbook. So these are people in the subway, people in streetcars. I also went to my first art battle, so I brought my sketchbook with me and sketched the people at the art battle, which was a very interesting event. You can see on this side was the DJ was putting the music on while we were there. Some ideas for other artwork on the side there. Yep, and I went upstairs to look from above. It was a really nice place, what was going on, and sketched the people there at the same time. All the colors were added later on, like I said before. I write the names of the colors while I'm there and just sketch with a pen or pencil and then add the colors later. This was done at a park. I colored it there. This was at a hair salon here in Toronto that I visited for the first time while I was waiting. I tried to sketch my dog at the park. Not easy to sketch a dog while he's moving around, especially an Italian Greyhound. And also details of people in the subway. I went to the shoe museum and sketched some shoes there. The Chinese one were very tiny. A little crazy how small it was. And yeah, those were just shoes that were interesting to me. I went with another group of sketchers at the time. And this is the very first urban sketching event that I organized in Toronto. And you see here pictures of some of the people that were in the pub. The good thing about sketching is that you can sketch while you wait. I was waiting for pizza, so I sketched people in the street. Here I went to another park and I decided to play with watercolors. Here I went to Hyde Park with a couple other artists from another group. And again, practicing watercolor. And whenever I was in the subway, I would sketch people or details, as you can see here. Sometimes they work, sometimes it didn't work. This little guy on the side sleeping worked really well. This was at the butcher shop. They had like a little installation. I was waiting for our sandwiches, so I sketched that. Here I was waiting for a friend for another sketching event. We decided to go sketch the Halloween parade. So yeah, that was while I was waiting for her at the Wesley station. And we found a place outside to sit down and sketch people going on. It was not easy to sketch people as they were walking by, but the cool thing is it basically stayed in the same area, so it would come back and forth. So it was like you could kind of pick up your sketch of them in costume as they would come back. But it was an interesting challenge. Quick figure sketching of people in costume. Again, riding the subway, sketching different people, playing with watercolors, even waiting for friends at a restaurant. I would start sketching people. And sometimes, like I said before, there's some very interesting fashion combination. This girl had like a bright green skirt on top of her pants in the winter. Yeah, and here I was playing again with just watercolors from another palette. Sometimes the subway doesn't work and you have to sit there for a while, so it enables me to create more detailed sketches of people, like this guy sleeping. And again, details of people in the subway, adding the colors later. And it's interesting because I was sketching more people at the time and I could see that my sketches got better, the details got better. Sketching at a coffee shop, again sketching somebody in the subway, trying to sketch without a pen, just straight with the brush, playing with perspective. You can see that I sketched these people in the winter based on what they're wearing. Lots of coats. The notes you see on the side was just because as I was organizing the urban sketching event, I would take notes of who was there. We went to Comic-Con, so people had really cool costumes. So we sketched the people at Comic-Con in their costume. Not an easy thing to do, to sketch people while they're moving around, but you kind of find somebody who's kind of like staying in the same area and sketch them. For the holidays, I went to check out another event, this special holiday art battles, so I sketched those while I was there. And you can see, at least I can see, that the drawings were getting a little better because I was sketching a lot at the time. And you might recognize on the right hand side this girl. If you use the subway in Toronto, you'll see a poster of her on the subway. Which is always cool to see. Comes from that little sketchbook. Again, sketches of people in the subway, in restaurants. You can see the details are a lot more interesting because I was getting a better hold of sketching people in the subway. I was getting faster. The thing is, the more you do it, the better you get. And that was just at the restaurant at the end. And that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.